Bonjour tout le monde. In today's video we are going to be looking at subordinate clauses, and specifically subordinate clauses using the word si, if, and quand, when. Subordinate clauses are used to add information to a main clause. They usually explain where, when, or why an action is happening. Subordinate clauses are always linked to the main clause in the sentence. Subordinate clauses don't always make sense on their own. Let's look at an example. Ella works hard in French. This is our main clause. This is our main piece of information. Ella works hard in French when she is not distracted. When she is not distracted is our subordinate clause. It's the secondary clause in our sentence that is adding more information, in this case using the word when, quand in French. George visits his grandma on Saturdays, if he has time. George visits his grandma on Saturdays is our main clause. It includes our main piece of information. If he has time does not make sense on its own, but it does add information and explains when the action is happening in our subordinate clause. For this particular video, we're going to be using the weather to add subordinate clauses to our sentences, and our sentences are all going to be about free time activities. We're going to look at these 6 examples. Il y a du soleil. It is sunny. Il pleut. It rains. Il y a du vent. It's windy. Il fait chaud. It's hot. Il fait froid. It's cold. And il neige. It snows. We're going to be using these as subordinate clauses along with the words if or when, si or quand, to add information to our sentences. Let's have a look. Here we have 8 sentences. In each of these we have a main clause and a subordinate clause. Let's start by going through our 8 sentences and finding the subordinate clause and the main clause. Quand il neige, je regarde la télé. When it snows, I watch the TV. Our main clause is I watch the TV. That is the action that is happening. Our subordinate clause is when it snows. This doesn't make sense on its own, but it is adding more information to our main clause. Je ne joue pas au volley quand il neige. I don't play volleyball when it snows. Our main information is I don't play volleyball. Our subordinate clause, when it snows, is giving a reason why, and it's adding that information. There is our subordinate clause, once again with quand, the word when. Je visite le musée s'il pleut. I visit the museum if it rains. Our main clause is I visit the museum. Our subordinate clause, using the weather, if it rains. One more example together then. Quand il y a du vent, je vais à la piscine. When it is windy, I go to the swimming pool. I go to the swimming pool is our main activity, that is the main clause in our sentence. Quand il y a du vent is our weather phrase, which we are using as a subordinate clause to add information and extra detail. You might have noticed that subordinate clauses can go at the beginning or at the end of our sentence. They can even go in the middle of a sentence if we want them to. Pause the video here and see if you can find the subordinate clause and the main clause in the remaining 4 sentences on this worksheet. I'm going to go through the answers so you can check when you press play again. Brilliant, well done. Now your final challenge is to translate these 8 sentences using your weather phrases and the words si, if, and quand, when, at the start of your subordinate clauses. You can use your classwork, your booklet, and your core knowledge to help you. I'm going to write in the answers now so that you can come back and check at the end. And there we go. There is a homework sheet on this topic and also a Quizlet set for you to look at and revise from. Good luck!